In the world of fighter jets, there are certain unspoken rules. Rules that have shaped the way nations design, build, and operate their most advanced machines of war for decades. These rules are rarely questioned, and even less often broken. Fighter jets, by tradition, must be outrageously expensive, mind-bendingly complex, and demand perfect runways and massive support crews. They're supposed to be the crown jewels of a nation's military, reserved for the wealthiest and most powerful countries. The Americans, Russians, and French all play by these rules, pouring billions into their F-22S, Su-35S, and Rafales, each more advanced and expensive than the last. These jets are technological marvels, but they come with a price tag and a maintenance bill that would make most nations wince. But then there's Sweden, a country better known for its sensible Volvos, innovative safety features, and flat-pack furniture from IKEA. Sweden looked at the rulebook, shrugged, and decided to toss it out the window. Instead of following the crowd, Sweden set out to create a fighter jet that was affordable, easy to fix, and could land on a regular road. Yes, a regular road, not a billion-dollar airbase. It was a radical idea, almost unthinkable in the world of high-performance military aviation. Aviation experts and military analysts scoffed at the idea. They said you can't have a top-tier, supersonic, multi-role fighter that's also cheap to run and simple to maintain. The very notion seemed to defy the laws of modern military procurement. But the Swedes, with their trademark practicality and stubbornness, proved everyone wrong. They unveiled the Saab JS-39 Gripen, a jet that rewrote the rules and challenged the status quo. The Gripen was lightweight, agile, and designed to be maintained by conscripts with minimal training. It could be refueled, rearmed, and sent back into the sky in minutes, not hours. Even more impressive, it could operate from short, rugged stretches of highway, hidden deep in the Swedish countryside. This was a masterpiece of practical engineering, a jet built not for show but for survival. In a world obsessed with extravagance and excess, the Gripen was a breath of fresh air, proving that brilliance doesn't always come with a gold-plated price tag. And the best part, it actually worked. The Gripen wasn't just a paper project or a budget compromise. It was a fully capable, combat-ready fighter that could hold its own against the world's best. While other nations spent fortunes on jets that rarely left the ground, Sweden had a nimble, deadly, and practical machine that could be hidden, maintained, and launched from almost anywhere. It was a jet built for the realities of war, not just the parade ground. The Gripen showed the world that you didn't need a superpower's budget or a massive industrial complex to have a formidable air force. All you needed were clever engineers, a willingness to challenge convention, and the courage to do things differently. The Gripen wasn't just a new plane, it was a new philosophy, a statement that innovation and practicality could go hand in hand, even in the high-stakes world of military aviation. The Gripen declared to the world that sometimes the most brilliant solution is the one everyone else says is impossible. It was proof that thinking differently can change the game. In a world full of jewel-encrusted stilettos, the Gripen was the sensible shoe, unassuming, practical, and ready for anything. It didn't need to be flashy to be effective. The Saab Gripen changed the game forever, proving that sometimes the smartest path is the one less traveled, and that true innovation means daring to be different. How did Sweden pull this off? Ruthless focus on what matters. While others added weight and complexity, Saab went lean. The Gripen is a featherweight in a heavyweight world, needing less fuel and maintenance. It's designed for quick fixes by conscripts with a toolbox, not teams of specialists. Refueling and rearming can take as little as 10 minutes, faster than an IKEA checkout. In real conflict, that means more time in the air while rivals sit grounded waiting for parts. The Gripen is a rugged farm dog, not a pampered racehorse. This isn't just a feature, it's a design ethos. Maximize capability, minimize cost and complexity. A weapon is useless if it's too expensive or complicated to use. The Gripen wasn't built to be the fastest or stealthiest on paper, but the most effective in practice. It punches far above its weight. That's what makes it special. Most modern jets are marvels of engineering, but they come with a major catch. They need long, perfectly maintained runways to operate safely. These runways are meticulously constructed, kept free of debris, and constantly monitored for even the smallest imperfection. Just a single piece of gravel, a stray bolt, or a patch of loose asphalt can spell disaster for a jet traveling at hundreds of kilometers per hour. The risk of engine damage or catastrophic accidents is ever present. This dependence on pristine runways is a huge vulnerability. If an enemy destroys or even just damages your airbase, your entire fleet can be grounded in an instant, unable to take off or land safely. In modern warfare, air superiority can be lost with a single well-placed strike. But Sweden, always pragmatic and acutely aware of its own defense needs, took a radically different approach. The designers of the Gripen set out to create a jet that could operate from almost anywhere, even from stretches of public highway, rural roads, or makeshift airstrips hidden in the countryside. The Gripen's landing gear is built tough, designed to absorb the bumps and shocks of rough, uneven surfaces. Its engine is fitted with special debris screens and filters, allowing it to resist damage from dust, gravel, and other hazards that would cripple most jets. Even more impressive, the Gripen only needs about 800 meters, less than a kilometer, to take off or land. That's a fraction of what most modern fighters require, opening up a world of possibilities for where it can operate. Instead of relying on a handful of massive, obvious airbases, Sweden can disperse its jets to dozens of hidden locations. Forest clearings, stretches of empty highway, or even small rural roads can all become improvised runways and safe havens. A quiet country road or an abandoned airstrip can be transformed into a forward operating base in minutes, making it nearly impossible for an enemy to predict where the next Gripen will appear. Even if the enemy bombs your main airfields, your Gripens could be refueling behind a petrol station, being serviced by a small team, and ready to launch a counterattack at a moment's notice. This flexibility is a nightmare for any adversary. For years, the Gripen was dismissed as a quirky Swedish oddity, but now it's having a moment. The Czech Republic, after 2 decades of flying Gripens, just extended their lease to 2035, even as they buy F-35s. Why? Because the Gripen is reliable, cost-effective, and proven. It's the dependable workhorse while the flashy new stallion is still learning the ropes. Thailand faced a choice, the familiar F-16 or the Gripen. They chose the latest Gripen EF, valuing cost, performance, and industrial cooperation. This was a direct win over the American giant. The Thais saw what the Czechs already knew. The Gripen offers unbeatable capability and affordability. These aren't isolated events, they're signals to the world. The Gripen's rule-breaking formula isn't just viable, it's winning. More nations are realizing that smart, practical air power beats expensive tradition. The Gripen is no longer an underdog, it's a global contender. The Thai deal wasn't just about price or performance. Sweden did what few arms exporters do. They offered real technology transfer. Thailand isn't just getting jets, they're getting blueprints and the ability to modify key systems themselves. It's like buying a car and getting the engineering diagrams and source code. This gives true sovereignty and control, freeing buyers from endless dependence on the supplier. Sweden is also helping Thailand build a local maintenance hub, creating jobs and expertise. Thai companies will join the global Gripen supply chain. This isn't just a sale, it's a partnership. Most suppliers keep their tech locked up. Sweden shares. This open-handed approach builds trust and strategic value. For nations seeking self-reliance, it's almost impossible to refuse. That's a key reason the Gripen keeps winning. Let's talk money. The real cost of a fighter isn't the purchase, it's keeping it flying. The Gripen's operational cost per hour is dramatically lower than its rivals, sometimes less than half. Over decades, that adds up to huge savings, money that can go to more jets, more pilots, or even schools and hospitals. This efficiency is by design: lightweight airframe, fuel-efficient engine, and easy maintenance. The Czechs knew this when they extended their lease, getting a great deal for proven capability. Smaller nations can punch above their weight with the Gripen. You don't need a Pentagon-sized budget for a first-class air force. The Gripen democratizes air power. It delivers most of the capability for a fraction of the cost. In a world of limited budgets, that's not just smart, it's genius. Finance ministers love it, and so do air forces. Some worried the Gripen, from neutral Sweden, wouldn't fit with NATO, but Saab built it for interoperability from day one, using NATO standard systems. Gripens from the Czech and Hungarian air forces have flown NATO missions for years, seamlessly integrating with allies. The jet's advanced data links make it a valuable node in allied networks. The Gripen isn't static, it's constantly evolving. The Czechs are investing in upgrades, new software, sensors and weapons like the Meteor missile. Its modular design makes upgrades easy and affordable. The Gripen is future-proof, able to adapt as warfare changes. Full NATO compatibility and a clear modernization path mean today's buyers are set for decades. It's a team player and a survivor. That's rare in military aviation. The new Gripen EF is the original concept turned up to 11. It looks similar, but under the skin it's a whole new beast. The heart is its advanced sensor suite, a cutting-edge AESA radar, infrared search and track, and a powerful electronic warfare system. The airframe is stronger with a more powerful engine, more weapons and greater range. 10 hardpoints mean it can carry a huge variety of ordnance. The cockpit features a wide area display for intuitive control. Despite all this, it's still affordable and easy to maintain. It can still operate from short, rough roads. Saab has made it deadlier and smarter without losing the original's practicality. The Gripen EF is the ultimate expression of Swedish fighter philosophy. The Gripen is more than just a fighter jet. It's a bold statement against decades of conventional thinking in military aviation. Where most air forces have followed a predictable path of ever larger, ever costlier jets, the Gripen dares to ask, what if there's a better way? It's a machine that embodies innovation, not just in its technology, but in its entire philosophy. The Gripen proves there's a smarter way to build and operate a fighter, one that's affordable, adaptable, and practical for real-world needs. It's designed to be maintained quickly, upgraded easily, and flown by pilots who don't need endless hours of training. This is a jet that puts capability and common sense ahead of prestige or price tags. In an era where defense budgets are under constant pressure and the complexity of new systems can spiral out of control, the Gripen's message is more relevant than ever. It's a reminder that effectiveness doesn't have to come with an astronomical price tag, and that smart design can outmaneuver brute force. The Gripen is a high-performance tool that air forces can actually afford to use, not just display. Its agility and speed are matched by its reliability and low operating costs, making it a true workhorse for any nation that needs to defend its skies. Born from Sweden's unique defense needs, the Gripen's philosophy offers a blueprint for any country seeking security without sacrificing economic stability. It's a product of a nation that values independence, resilience, and smart investment in its own future. The Gripen's adoption by countries like the Czech Republic and Thailand is proof that the world is waking up to new possibilities. These nations have chosen a fighter that fits their needs, budgets, and ambitions, showing that you don't have to follow the crowd to succeed. Technology transfer, low costs, and flexibility aren't just nice extras. They're strategic advantages that can transform a nation's air power. The Gripen empowers its operators to innovate, adapt, and remain independent, even in a rapidly changing world. The ability to maintain and operate jets in remote locations, and to seamlessly integrate with allies, is priceless in today's unpredictable security environment. The Gripen's design makes it possible to keep flying, no matter where or when it's needed. The Gripen is the thinking person's fighter, a jet for those who value strategy, efficiency, and adaptability over sheer size or cost. It challenged the long-held belief that bigger and pricier is always better, proving that a compact, cost-effective design can deliver world-class performance. As global security challenges grow more complex and unpredictable, the lessons of the Gripen matter more than ever. It's a call to rethink what really matters in defense: agility, affordability, and the courage to break the rules when the old ones no longer work. The Gripen didn't just defy the odds, it rewrote the rulebook, and in doing so, it's inspiring a new generation of air forces to do the same.